Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Let's start off on a topic immediately that I think is going to bring a few smiles. You know, we've all been down lately and I think we're going to get a little bit down later on in the video. But let's start on a positive note, yeah? Liverpool yesterday losing their home record unbeaten run, whatever it was. Well, it's not beating ours, that's for sure. They lost 1-0 to Burnley. Now, the good news is that Liverpool lost 1-0 to Burnley and therefore their 68 match home unbeaten run has come to an end, which will not even come close to Chelsea's all-time record, which is set in stone of 86 matches, set between 2004 and 2008. Even Jose Mourinho had a couple of things to say in the Tottenham press conference earlier today, which, yeah, you know, he looked smug. And I think it's safe to say we can all be a little bit smug with that because that record is never being broken. Even though records are there to be broken, that record is never getting touched again. 86 home matches unbeaten in the Premier League. No one's doing that again. Just as much as I think no one is going to touch our fewest goals conceded in a Premier League season record. No one's touching that one either. So, you know, we've got two records there in the cabinet that I don't think anyone's coming close to. So it's all good. On the negative, we got to remember, after Wolves, we play Burnley. So in 10 days' time, or I think it's 9 days now, yeah, in 9 days' time, we have to play Burnley. And looking at the way that they played yesterday in their fantastic Sean Dyche 901 formation, parking the plane, not just the bus, honestly, they got the result. And that's all that matters. And Liverpool are now in a terrible run of form, which is not something that we should really take pleasure with because look at us, we are in all sorts of chaos at the moment and it's not going very well. Now, if we move into one of the main topics of the video, Frank Lampard's press conference today. Oh my goodness. Shots fired left, right and centre. Everywhere. Shots everywhere. And specifically at Liam Tomori of The Athletic. Very well connected Chelsea journalist. Someone that I find very balanced. But Frank Lampard came out with all guns blazing and literally firing shots at Liam in the press conference. And, you know, there's one positive with the press conference that Frank Lampard conducted earlier on. And it's that fire. And it all came out. Now, some may criticise it, and to be honest, I can see why it kind of should be criticised to an extent with the way that he carried it out. But the fire is there. The fire is there, and that's a good thing. Does that translate to the players? Is that going to translate to the team? Well, we'll see. We'll see starting Sunday against Luton, you know, where, to be honest, I don't think any sort of fire is needed to beat Luton. All due respect, we should be winning against Luton quite comfortably. But after that, the Wolves game, the Burnley game, that's where we'll see if this fire that we're seeing from Frank Lampard in the press conference is replicated by the players on the pitch. Some may say in the press conference earlier today that Frank Lampard was contradicting himself a couple of times. You know, like for example saying that he doesn't really pay much attention to the noise about his job and the pressure and he doesn't really look at all of that. But then a couple of minutes later, he's slating Liam Tomori personally and going, yeah, you know what, you right, it's going to shoot the confidence of these players and it's going to get them down. And as much as I see the point there, as much as I see the point that negative press can get to players' heads, if the players allow it to, might I add, if the players turn on their, you know, iPhones and their Android devices, whatever they have, or their laptops, and they all go onto the internet and they look into all of this in detail, then yes, you know, if they let that affect them, then cool, it will affect them. But as much as Frank Lampard is trying to say that he doesn't really pay attention to social media and all of that, well, I'd like to think that the players would be similar. And if they are playing for a top club like Chelsea, you need to have thick skin. You need to have thick skin. And if I look at individuals that I know has thick skin, you look at the old guard of a Frank Lampard, JT, Didier. I personally think they have thick skin. They don't let any comment get to them or whatever they read in articles. They don't really let it affect them. But in today's age, footballers, I'm assuming, are softer. And when you look at the age of some of our players, you expect that they're on social media a lot and they're probably going to let these comments get to them. Now, Frank Lampard is saying that he doesn't really let the pressure get to him and all of that, which is nice to hear. That's great. But But is he in control of not letting the players get affected as well? Because the way that he was coming across is he was shifting the blame to the negative press and to all of that. At the end of the day, the press are going to write what they see, and they're going to amplify what they see. That's the truth. When results are good, they're going to be talking about you winning the title. When results are bad, they're going to be talking about you losing your job and you possibly getting relegated. They're going to amplify everything. Now, we can't be naive and pretend we didn't know that. That's pack and parcel, and I'm sure that these players that have come through our academy, for example, and other clubs from across the world will train your players to be able to know this. And, you know, footballers in today's age are fully aware of the impacts of social media and all of that, and articles and journalism and what's going on. Personally, the first blame that you need to look at is what is being done on the pitch. That's the first thing, and that's the only thing you can control. So don't really pay attention to the press. Don't really pay attention to articles and what's being written. Even though he went firing shots at Liam Twomey, as far as I'm concerned, the article that he wrote for The Athletic earlier on in the week was fully justified. I have nothing wrong with what was in that article. And if you want to go and check it out for yourself, go and check it out for yourself. But it was talking about tactical flaws against Leicester and mistakes that were being made by certain players and Frank Lampard, things that he might not have seen. I think the article was fine. So for Frank Lampard to come out and make it look like it was just a complete bunch of nonsense, I mean, you are in control of the team. You are in control of what's being done on the pitch. At the moment, it's not to a standard. And it's not to a standard, I think, to quite a detrimental level now. Because you're losing 5 games out of 7. We are in a form where it's no longer just about tactics or anything. The Leicester game was key. We didn't even see players run. I mean, this is basic stuff. You look at the Liverpool defeat against Burnley, for example. Let's look at that. Liverpool, you see the way that they were chasing a goal, but you could see, as much as it was difficult for them, as hard as they were finding it, you could see that they were trying at 120%. Everyone was running, everyone was sprinting, everyone was providing movement, everyone was getting into position for each other, everyone was trying everything they possibly could. Not just playing one way either, they were crossing into the box, they were trying to go down to middle, they were trying to play in triangles, they were trying to go over the top of defenders, they were trying through balls, they were trying everything to the point where Alisson himself came from his goal to try and score as well. They tried everything through the kitchen sink, but Burnley were very well organised, and we know that a Sean Dyche Burnley side are going to be a very hard team to get past, especially if they're playing on a low block, very defensive, 9 defenders, you ain't getting through. Liverpool found it difficult, but you could see that the desire was there. They were trying their utmost hardest. And that's all you can ask for. A defeat in that manner is not the worst thing in the world. I look at the way Liverpool lost yesterday, and yes, they might be in a bad patch of form, but that's all it is. It only seems like a bad patch of form. You don't have players that don't look like they're bothered. You don't have a manager that you know is missing something or is tactically inept, or, you know, you don't see these. It's just a bad patch of form, and I fully expect Liverpool to bounce back at some point. I think that they are going to get going at some point soon. We'll see what happens, but there's top quality there. But there's a desire, and there's a base, and there's a foundation. With us, you look at the way that we lost against Leicester, you have to question even the desire of the players. You know, like, do we even want it? And is Frank Lampard doing anything about it? The whole thing is messed up. So when you receive negative press, well, it's coming. You know it's coming, so don't turn it really into an issue. It really, really shouldn't be an issue. Frank Lampard today in the press conference went absolutely mental, and you could see that he's on edge. You could see that he is down. You could see that you could say nervous, you could say kind of knows what's coming if results don't turn. And this is what I'm saying now. We need a miracle. We need a convincing win against Luton. We need a convincing win against Wolves. We need a convincing win against Burnley. And we need to beat Spurs as far as I'm concerned. Because if we do that and we beat a Spurs, for example, well, at that point, you can start talking about maybe we figured something out. Maybe. You know, because Tottenham are a top team. Jose Mourinho, this, that and the other. We understand. It's a top level there. And right now, we come up against any top level team. Any team that's above us, we fold. We fold. So it would be a step in the right direction. But that's up to Frank Lampard. That's up to the players. At the end of the day, you look at this. Klopp, after the game yesterday, immediately came on and said, it's my fault. I'm in charge of the players. I take responsibility. I needed to do this. And he went into detail about what he found wrong in the game. Frank Lampard comes on into a press conference or an interview after a game and goes, there were individual errors. Certain players didn't look like they tried hard enough. It's just always deflecting. It's always deflecting. As bad as it is to overprotect players, sometimes you just need to protect your players in the press. You can go into them absolutely hairdryer treatment, Sir Alex Ferguson throw a boot at them treatment in the dressing room. In the dressing room, you do what you want. That stays in the dressing room. In public, protect your players. Don't overprotect them, be honest, but at the same time, don't throw them under the bus. When everyone and their Tom, Dick and Harry can see that Frank Lampard shares a part of the responsibility in what is going wrong at Chelsea at the moment, and we don't see him own up to that, that's a problem. That is a problem. When you see managers like a Klopp come out after a game losing at home against Burnley where the record is now gone for them and he takes responsibility, you see other managers do the same thing. And Frank Lampard doesn't do that. But during a game, we don't see him try to rectify anything. This is the problem. So now we're talking about the basics and, it's gone beyond just tactics and it's gone beyond, switching a formation. It's just gone to the basics. The basics of, is the manager in control? Does he have the trust of all these players? Are the players playing for him? Do they want to play for him? Are they showing the effort? Are they running hard enough? Are they sprinting? These are basic fundamentals that a football team needs to succeed. If not, you can forget it. You can forget it. This isn't I'm just going absolutely and trying to destroy Frank Lampard here. Let's not get it twisted. We all want Frank to succeed. Out of anyone on the planet to succeed as a Chelsea manager, it would be a legend like a Lampard, Terry, Drogba, Cech. It would be. This is the vision that we've had from ages ago when we had Mourinho in his prime. We all had that vision that, you know what? One day, one of these players are going to come back and they're going to become a manager and they're going to continue what we're seeing right now. That was the dream. Now we're kind of in it where we have Lampard as our manager, but it's just gone completely in the other direction. The complete other direction. And you have to ask, were our doubts from before justified? Where we all were saying, maybe it's too early, maybe it's too early. But then we got caught in the hype of, it's Frank Lampard, flipping, yes, it's Lamps, come on, get in there. Now, I'm not saying don't support him, support the team. I want to see results, I want to see wins, but this is the thing, it comes down to results. And Frank Lampard coming into a press conference and throwing everything at the media, as justified as some of the points could be, absolutely, because we know how much the media like to paint a picture, but right now, they don't need to try and paint a picture. They've got the picture set ready for them. It's like they've just walked into an exhibition and the painting is right in front of them. Done. The masterpiece is there. We keep losing football matches. That is it. There's no ammo that they're trying to create for themselves. We're giving them the ammo. So this is the point. Don't have a go at the press. Try and sort the solution for yourself. Try and find the solution and sort what's going on. Anyway, we'll see what's going to happen in the upcoming games. Hopefully it does turn around. As crazy as we think maybe that's not possible, but right now, if it does, oh my goodness, that would be incredible. So fingers crossed it does. Last piece of news, Fikayo Tomori has gone to AC Milan and that has been confirmed. He landed in Italy earlier today. The deal has been confirmed by Chelsea and by AC Milan. He has signed wearing the number 23 shirt. So good luck to Fikayo Tomori. I'm sure you're going to kill it out there. I hope you end up winning silverware. It's a big possibility as AC Milan are top of Serie A at the moment and they're still competing in the Europa League, which is a trophy that they can definitely win this season. So who knows? He might be leaving an 8th place Chelsea, who might end up 10th very soon, going to Serie A champions and Europa League winners. It's possible. I really hope that is going to happen for him. Good luck. And is it a mistake? For me, I think it's a mistake. Because I think in the long run, we're going to regret this. AC Milan do have an option to buy. That is in the deal. So it will be up to them at the end of the season if they want to trigger that and keep Fikayo Tomori on a permanent deal, which would mean that they would have to pay £25 million, I think, or somewhere around that region. But it's up to them now. It's out of our hands. If Tomori performs and AC Milan are happy, they can just go, oi, Chelsea, we're keeping him. Here's your money. And that's it. That'd be goodbye to Fikayo Tomori. I think we're going to regret it because, honestly, I think I can speak for most when I say after Thiago Silva and Zuma, it's Tomori next in line. That's who I would definitely trust, but we don't know the details. We know what's happened behind the scenes. I'm sure something's happened because this doesn't make any sense. But good luck to Fikayo. I wish you all the best out there, mate. I hope you smash it. I'm sure you will. And there we are. Let me know what you think in the comment section below regarding Liverpool losing their unbeaten record, Chelsea keeping their 86 intact, Frank Lampard's press conference and clashing with Liam Twomey, and Fikayo Tomori going to AC Milan on loan with an option to buy. Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Thank you very much. Be sure to catch the preview for Chelsea versus Luton tomorrow. That will be uploaded tomorrow for you guys, so keep your eyes peeled, and I will see all of you then. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Take care, and peace.